hmm It's your boy Live Wire. I want to do a short video real quick. Nothing too long. Just talking about the holidays, man. The holidays are great. It's Christmas morning. Everybody should be getting ready to open up presents. If right now it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and my ass is on here talking to y'all about holiday spirit and the fuck shit ponies do. Before I take it down, the night I just had looked at a couple of tweets. I'm addicted to scrolling through Twitter at random times throughout the day, and I just I don't have it up here right now, but I noticed that you got a lot of PlayStation guys that are. Well, I shouldn't say PlayStation guys. Let me be fair. Got ponies. They cannot just let it go. That Halo is better than anything PlayStation has had in a very long time. Unfortunately, they just can't. Bro, Halos has been an iconic franchise for a long time. It has. No different than Mario, no different than Zelda. All right? Those games, no different than when the Nintendo Switch came out. How big was Mario? Huge, right? How big was Zelda? Huge, right? You're seeing the same results with Halo Infinite. Same results. The thing I've noticed is when people dislike the console or the hardware, the software gets, looked down upon. Even though the fan base still looks at the software in high regard, the casuals or the media don't necessarily fall the same way. Same thing with the Nintendo situation with the Wii U, right? The Switch is pretty much got all the ports from Wii U are now on the Switch, right? Games are all now. They didn't rate the Wii U games low and then magically rate the Switch versions high. No, the ratings are pretty much the same. The only difference is how they perceive them, right? When the game is perceived well, because the console is perceived well, then the media talks about it more. The fan base talks about it. The casuals talk about it. Like the only reason why the media talks about Xbox as much now, and more so than they did before, is because the clicks. It's the same thing that happened with the PS4. When the PS4 was the most popular, you know, console in the States, that's all the media would talk about. Bro, they tried to sell motherfuckers on Resogun being the new hot shit when PlayStation had nothing. And they told people that Rise Son of Rome was a dog shit game that shouldn't be played. Mind you, think about that. The media tried to sell people on, Resogun being a must-buy game, while, looking at, Rise Son of Rome and saying it's nothing but QTEs and there's no real gameplay. This shit is crazy, bro. But that's what happened back then. You know what I mean? Like, and these PlayStation guys are seeing a role reversal. Not in the same manner where good games for PlayStation are getting shat on. That's not happening. But they're not getting the same level of praise that they once got with the PS4. That's the difference. Where they would just praise a game for PlayStation blindly, they're no longer getting that blind shadow of a doubt. Remember when the Order 1886 came out and it was, viewed very poorly? And then you got articles saying, but if you like the game, you're not crazy. And what that article said is not, there's nothing wrong with that. It's true. Look, there could be a low rated game, but if you like it, you like it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's absolutely true. But the same was not given, level of respect was not given to Xbox games. It just wasn't. I mean, you had Sunset Overdrive that came out, it was like an 86, 87. Bro, the most disrespectful thing happened to that game. It wasn't that they tried to rate it low. No, the media straight up ignored it like it didn't exist. They were like, the game came out. That's it. They didn't talk about that game at all. There weren't a bunch of let's plays. They didn't do speed runs and all that stuff. They weren't doing none of that shit. They act like the game didn't exist. It wasn't until Insomnia, like you would see like Xbox shows on like the Xbox section on certain media sites would say, "Oh, the game of the year for Xbox was Sunset Overdrive," and they would talk about over the years. They'd be like, "Well, Sunset Overdrive was a good game," but giving like bloviating about that shit, they would not do. They wouldn't do it. Think about it. Think about it. They used to talk of Rocket League, and people would be like, "Oh, well, Rocket League was a great game, bro." You gotta understand, Rocket League came out, motherfucking PlayStation had nothing. They had nothing out. It was the best shit they had. People don't talk about Rocket League now like they used to when that game first came out and PlayStation had nothing, and it had nothing for a while. It had nothing for a while. It was a mean drought, but that game came out. It was a multiplayer game, and people gravitated to it because it's what was available. Like, but like now the tides have turned. Things are not what they once were. The days of shitting on Halo and 343 just for the sake of doing it, and people just agreeing with you. That shit is over. It died. It's no longer here. They had a great 343 has always been a competent developer. Yes, they've taken chances and not always hit on the chances they took, but they've always been a competent developer. I think their biggest issue was with Halo 5 was some people go with the lock thing. I don't even feel that was the biggest issue. My biggest problem with Halo 5 was the boss. Having to fight the warden multiple times. That shit was annoying. Especially if you now play Infinite, where you fight many different boss types, you know, and looking at the new God of War versus the old God of War, it's kind of the similar thing. Now, granted, God of War, the first one, not the first one, but the 2018 one, you had your mini bosses, and then you had your main boss. Like you had to fight, not Thor, but Thor's kids or whatever, or brothers or whoever the fuck they were. You had to fight that dragon. You had to fight, what's the dude name? The Wanderer, the Stranger, whatever the fuck his name is, skinny dude with the tattoos. And I think that was it. Was there anybody else? I can't really remember. I think that was it. Other than those side motherfuckers, the bitches. I don't know, Banshee, whatever they were. Some witch characters like the Valkyries. I think it was Valkyries. You know what I mean? But those were optional. Then you had to fight the troll, like the multiple different color trolls. Like one does troll, same troll, different color, different power, same move sets. Like slam shit on the ground, either make fire, make ice. I think the other, what was it, like shockwave, like wind or something. I don't know. But you was always fighting a motherfucking troll. You either fighting one or two, but they was always in there. And you know what I mean? It was a good game. I think they got away with some bullshit in that game, especially when you're talking about you fighting the same dudes over and over. Like, why is there a fucking troll in every location? Even though the other enemies kind of switch up, but you still got a damn troll. I don't know. I mean, maybe they explained that. I was just ignoring it. I don't know. But I could tell from the new God of War, just from the little clip that you see more, it looks like they're more boss types. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like it's more actual boss types versus you fighting more fucking trolls. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, like they weren't called out on that shit. Not like that. They were praised as the game. They were talking about game of the fucking generation and game of the. What is it? Not even. They were talking about game, not decade. Well, maybe they said the game of the decade. I mean, granted, generation's long enough, so damn near a decade. I don't know, but they would, game of the generation, game of the decade, whatever. But that game had a lot of flaws in it, man. It looked good, but God of War, it's I don't know, game of the decade. I don't know if you have enough freedoms in that game to be game of the decade. I think you have to really look at that game and see, like, Skyrim. I get that. I get Skyrim. I get Breath of the Wild. I get games like that where it gives the player freedoms to determine what their gameplay style is going to be. God of War, you're not really doing that in that manner. Like, you still have to follow certain cues and solve puzzles the way they intend you to solve a puzzle versus people giving you multiple options and saying, how about you figure it out? you know I'm just saying, like, I don't they don't give you the same freedoms like that in that game. And therefore I think the gameplay is limited. It's linear, so I mean it is what it is. But I just feel, look, this generation is going to be different. So I'm not going to be surprised if they come down a little bit more harsher on PlayStation games for not you know being a little bit more thought provoking outside of the box. Like, listen, we did 7 years of the PlayStation template, the third person over the shoulder action adventure game. 7 years of it. We've seen it to death. So to be honest, I don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people, journalists included, are not going to get a little bit tired of that formula. And because it's been done so much, it's going to be easier to point it out. So, PlayStation fanboys crying about, well, why should we get docked off of this when it works? Don't get me wrong. The story works. If the story works, cool. Graphics, it looks pretty cool. But now a lot of games are gonna look good, you know. So if gameplay isn't being pushed, you're gonna. I think, I'm not saying it's definite, but I think that you're gonna get docked more if your gameplay isn't thinking more so outside the box. I truly believe it. I don't see. Look at what they did with Halo. My bad. My damn headphones just cut off. Look at what they did with Halo. Halo was praised. Halo Infinite isn't a perfect game. It isn't. You know, it's not as polished as it's going to be in the next year or so. They're going to clean it up more than it is. You know, they're going to add more stuff than it has. So the game that we currently have is probably going to be the weakest version of what we're going to get. God of War 2018 is the same today as it was when it fucking released. It's no fucking different. They ain't do a goddamn thing to that game. It's the same shit. Right? That's the difference. Halo gameplay, Halo more than anything, people are praising it for what? It's gameplay. They're not bloviating about visuals like that. They're not bloviating about the story like that. Even though those things are good, the main thing they're complimenting Halo on is its gameplay. And I'm telling you, that shit is becoming more important. Bro, you cannot keep on. We played a lot of video games, especially the vets. We played a lot of video games, and for us to to still be doing the same shit, old shit over and over again, that shit will get boring. It will. You know, now some people move on to different genres, and some people just fall out of gaming altogether. You know, if that shit stays stagnant. But if there's an alternative to how games are built and somebody is taking advantage of it and moving forward with it, there's it's wide open opportunities right there. Yeah, I mean, we know what Microsoft is trying to do. The only thing that they don't have on their docket is a third person. Well, they don't have a, what you say. We don't know if they don't have a third person. We have rumors of stuff, but they haven't officially announced a Sony style game, right? Now, with that being said, is nobody, I don't know if anybody wants a Sony style game that mimics their gameplay. We still want, you know, interesting gameplay. But people are just basically asking for that camera view. Like, can we get a game that allows us to look at our character? Because people like to see, you know, especially if you're talking about RPGs and stuff like that, they like to look at, you know, the different gear that they get. It is what it is, you know. So, you know, this generation is going to be different. It's going to be lovely. You know, there's going to be a lot of crying. There's going to be repentance. But it's going to be glorious. I want to, you know, just give out that holiday cheer. And to all those that stuck with Xbox throughout the years when wasn't as popular to do so, I say, hey man, it's finally come back. Xbox has finally come back to get its respect. And it's glorious. It's glorious. You know, shit right now, it's the salt mines for PlayStation tiers. It's huge. It's huge, bro. Like, you got cats out here coming out the woodworks, you know, just making, you know, just straight up pony salt mine videos and just getting hella subscribers off of that shit. And you know, some people be like, "Oh, well, that's not sustainable." My thing is, bro, it ain't gotta be. just let it be your launching pad. Doesn't mean that that has to be where you stay. Oh, you make salt videos. They're gonna be popular. People are gonna like them. But I mean, well, let's get this straight. Not everybody's gonna like your videos, depending on how much work you put into them. One, please, people, if you make sure that you have some focus in your videos. If you're gonna do videos when you're drunk as hell, please have some edited videos as well. Otherwise, people will just go and look at you as the drunk motherfuckers that makes crazy ass videos. If you're gonna talk about people that are ponies or PlayStation zealots, please keep it to the actual topic of what they're talking about. Don't make that shit personal. No talking about fighting, killing people. This shit is ridiculous, bro. It's gaming. Calm down. Like, this ain't war. Let's be easy. I mean, it's supposed to be all fun and entertainment. When you let that shit go that far in your mind, like, bro, you need to unplug. That shit isn't. Xbox is a device. It ain't your family. let's relax. Let's relax. Can't talk shit about the ponies being all extra, falling in love with PlayStation and riding, being diehards on that shit, and then turn around and do fuck shit. You can't. It looks crazy. But yeah, man, it's good times for Xbox, man. They out here in the streets. That's a big action figure. My daughter has a little one. Actually, this might be the same size. Hold on. Maybe this is a kid's hand. I'm thinking it's a woman's hand. Maybe she got little hands. I don't know. Man, it's so good. That was a good ass movie too. Spider-Man. Yeah, that was my ass the other day. I was actually playing Halo on xCloud this afternoon. I was getting my ass whooped. I was coming out matches like 5 and 11. I had one that I was like, no, I was 5 and 9, 2 and 11, 3 and 8. I was fucking struggling out that bitch. Because if the lag is like, it just, man, it's tough, man. And what do they got? What's the issue with this lady, man?
You have to have Game Pass also to have access to it.
I mean, if you have an Xbox right now,
you probably have a Game Pass.
You should have Game Pass. I think people over the years, once we finally get Elder Scrolls 6, might figure that out. TBH?
Nah, I don't think it was going to come to the PS5, and Lord knows the PS5 needs some games, because outside of Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. That shit was funny as hell. Oh, King David was... It says, it sucks when you see people having to overstep their boundaries for viewership and also for market share. No console war intentions, but to say PlayStation has no games is fucking stupid. I mean, obviously it has multi-plats, bro. Like, this is the thing. You cannot put out rules for Xbox and then be mad when the same rules that you put out for one console is now aimed back at the console that you prefer. So if you're saying that Xbox has no games because it has no exclusives, and then you turn around and have a year in what Sony did where they had Returnal, they had MLB The Show, they had Ratchet and Clank, they had Kenna. I'm trying to think of what else they had. I think that was it. And the problem is, for years they said Xbox had, anything that went to PC doesn't count. So, people look at Kenna I mean, yes. Deathloop. And they had Deathloop, but Deathloop is an Xbox game. MLB The Show was pretty much advertised as an Xbox game, which is fucking insane because it's developed by PlayStation. I don't know how Xbox got away with that shit, but because I for a fact have definitely seen way more advertisements for Xbox for MLB The Show than PlayStation. It was like they put that front and center because it was coming to Xbox. It was like, look, it's over here. I mean, shit, we get the best deal, bro. You could buy that shit with Game Pass. That shit $9. I'm just saying, yo. Like, freaking MLB The Show should be. You should get just the same deal with PlayStation, but you don't. I don't know why you don't, but you don't. You know. So I mean, look. All the dude was saying is Sony's offering wasn't that great. You know. And for some people, it's worse. He at least liked Ratchet and Clank. You already know for a fact other people don't. I do not like Ratchet and Clank. I would not be playing $70. I played the first one. I think I spent $20 on it at the time. Played it 2018 or 19. I ain't like it. It's not my cup of tea. It's not a bad game. I don't think that people that like the game would cap it. It's not that. I just prefer platformers that are platformers. Ratchet and Clank ain't a platformer. It's a third-person shooter that has platforming in it, but it's not a platformer. And I just feel like it's not my cup of tea because of that. And the story is trash. And nobody could lie about that and be like, no, the story is great. No, it's trash. Because the same Ratchet and Clank game remember, that shit was based off of the movie Ratchet and Clank that came out around the same time. That movie flopped big time. The game obviously did better, but it wasn't because of the story. It was because it was a pretty game. And it was you know, it followed Sony's template. But if that game didn't look as good as it did, oh no. Because the gameplay is fucking mediocre. Ratchet and Clank's gameplay is mediocre as fuck. Like it's a basic bitch. Like Ratchet and Clank is basic as fuck. Like the shit that they do with like I don't even know what to compare that shit to. Like that shit ain't Sunset Overdrive, yo. I don't know. It should be better, but it's not. I don't know why. Like it's not the enemy types. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this shit. I just I just think that maybe it's because it's not that the I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I think the gameplay's slow. It feels slower. Like I felt like in Sunset Overdrive, it felt like the combat was faster. Probably because you're on rails the whole time. So the faster you move, the you have to move fast in order to not die. Basically, like if you stay still, you're dead. In Ratchet and Clank, you can just stand where you're at and kind of strafe back and forth and shoot people because for the most part it's locked on, it's auto aim. So your bullets are gonna get fine to do anyway. But maybe that's what I was just bored. I didn't find the combat interesting. I never really felt in tremendous danger. Um, and I just felt like the only reason why you would die in the game is when you ran out of fucking ammo. Really, that's the only way you die. Like, oh fuck, I don't have the ammo that I need for this gun that I like. So now I gotta use this other shit that's not as powerful, and all these other dudes are coming around. And now I don't, in the difference in being in Sunset Overdrive, you have the mobility, so you're able to get away, go load up, come back, fuck shit up. Can't really do that in Ratchet and Clank. Actually, Did they ever give us the fucking? I don't know if they gave us FPS boost yet. And I have it on PC. I don't know. I don't like the way it looks on PC. It looks okay, but I don't know. I feel it should look better. Sunset Overdrive on PC. It just don't. It looks okay. I think that shit needs a 4K and 60 FPS boost on a console for the Series X. But yeah, whatever. Whatever. Let's see what else they got on here. Jump through the timeline. A lot of happy holidays. It says what? Me when I hear someone say Halo Infinite wasn't good. Bro, I feel you, man. That's that salt. But everybody's entitled to their opinions. Cause shit, I didn't think Days Gone was that good, and I didn't think whatchamacallit was that good. What's that? What is this? Oh, this guy playing shit. What was that game? Until Dawn. I didn't think that. I fought. I still have it on my PlayStation account. When I eventually get a PS5, maybe I'll give it another go. Man, it's just. This is the thing about being a PlayStation owner. It feels like you're a second class citizen in ways, Joe. It feels like they take advantage of you. They don't really they're always trying to hit you with the double tax on shit. You buy a game, you don't automatically get it upgraded. It's a lot of bullshit that comes along with being a PlayStation owner. I don't know. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. That's why granted, I can't buy a console right now if I wanted to, but I just feel like, what keeps me apprehensive about getting it is the fact that I feel like everything that I already bought, I have to buy, a upgraded version of that in order to, get what I want. Like I have The Last of Us 2. That means that if I'm lucky, I can get The Last of Us 2 for $10 extra with the upgrades. Because even though I think they did give a 60 FPS boost, but I'm sure they're gonna do a director's cut. I believe it should be like it's going to have a upgrade fee or whatever. Which that I'm not. Look, fuck it. You're gonna do a director's cut and charge people fine, whatever. I'm not even that big on like shitting on that shit. My issue was more so, them just giving the upgrade and not even any additional DLC or nothing, and then just be like, oh no, we want $10. Like to me, that's bullshit. But whatever the fuck. That's what people do nowadays. Let's see. Still looking through here. Yeah. Seems like all the ponies go to sleep. Might have to go through my notifications. What is this? Oh, that's that New World shit. It says some of the developers at Naughty Dog Studios behind such series as The Last of Us and Uncharted have revealed their favorite games of 2021. And what is this? Hopefully they don't say Halo, because them ponies gonna be on that ass. Wait, what? What is this? Above all, change this, but it all began with bug snacks. You came with my 7-year-old daughter and I bonded. Wonderful. I forgot about bug snacks. That shit was such a trash ass game. Can't believe those motherfuckers try to let that shit slide through. And Deathloop was the favorite of the 3 devs at Naughty Dog. Not surprised. That was the best game PlayStation had last year, which is fucking ironic because it's an Xbox game. Wait, it is talking about Deathloop. I don't give a fuck. I'll play that shit next year. Actually, it snowed earlier today, which was nice. Nice little drizzle. I'm gonna go upstairs and take my shower in a little bit. Where is this at? It's 2:30. Yeah, I still gotta get my ass up at 7:30. Man, I'm tempted to fucking play some more Halo though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a bit addicted. Sometimes I be trying like, but like, oh, if I can't use my boost, my XP boost, I ain't gonna play. Fuck that. The other times I'll be like, but I could just upgrade a little bit without it. Like, oh, fuck it. That's why I was playing on xCloud, because I could still upgrade, you know. As long as I could do some of my challenge shit. Don't get me wrong, that shit becomes harder when you gotta, you know, when the frame rate ain't kicking like you want it to. But my Lakers. They're my secondary team and an NBA team, but Jesus, this shit is rough watching it. Nets are my primary, but you know, even though they're in first place, I'm not too satisfied with how they're playing. It just, you know, they squeak by a lot of these teams. I'm like, man, I should be kicking their ass, and you over here just winning by like 5-10 points. What kind of shit is this? I know it sounds like some, you know, I sound like a fucking Patriot fan when they had during their dynasty era. But wait, hold up, was this? Oh no, that was Mint Blitz. I need to plug in my phone. My battery about to fucking die. Shit. I was on 3%. My shit was gonna cut off on the video. And when that shit happens, you don't even get to keep your video. You gotta start that bitch over. For Tango, when they playing the campaign. Yeah, that shit was a good ass campaign. I know a lot of people, a lot of these ponies were sitting around talking about, oh, the game been out a week and y'all ain't beat it yet. I'm like, motherfucker, because we ain't running through it. And the other thing is, a lot of people also still playing multiplayer. So how you gonna beat the campaign if you putting 5 hours or whatever how many hours you putting into it in the day or the week in the multiplayer? And I didn't even do that shit. I stayed straight campaign, but I was trying to be a completionist, which I didn't do. I didn't complete everything because there was like little things on the map that I couldn't find. Like I didn't get all the skulls. I didn't get all the propaganda towers, and I didn't get all the I got most of them, but I didn't get all the cosmetic things. I want to try to go back and get all that shit so I can have it for multiplayer, but I ain't get it. So I'll jump back in there, fight some more grunts and shit, and get that shit. Access all 30. Let me see. What does that say? I just had it come on my screen. Come on now. Son of a bitch. I was just looking at that. It's that Halo shit. Halo's that crack though. I think that's the problem, man. I don't understand the jealousy, bro. Don't be mad at the player. Mad at the game. Why are you motherfuckers fucking ponies mad at Halo? What you really should be mad at is God of War. Should be mad at Uncharted. Should be mad at those games. Why ain't God of War got its own toys? Why ain't got as popular as shirts? Huh? Why ain't Kratos as popular? No? Think about it. Should be. Been out just as long as Halo. Why not? Shit. When did Halo come out? 2001? God of War had to come around the same time. Well, maybe it's not old Halo. Maybe it's 2003, 2. I don't know. Let's see. But I know God of War ain't that far behind if it's not as old as Halo. And I don't go by when it was established. I go by when it was released. Franchise. Came out in 2005. No, man, take this shit off of here. So it was like 4 years later. And it was big for PlayStation. I don't know. I got to, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's that multiplayer shit. Multiplayer made that shit big, bro. Look at Fortnite. You got Nerf guns and shit. You know what I mean? You got all kinds of other shit. Like, look, I don't know. You got the Nathan Drake movie coming out. You got that. I don't know. Some people like the new trailer looks better than the first one, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna translate. I don't know. Like I don't like I like Tom Holland, but I don't know if he obviously people want Nathan Fillion, but unfortunately he's old. It is what it is. He's old. So it is what it is. Yeah, I don't, to be honest, who would have been a better, um, Nathan Drake? I feel like Shia LaBeouf would have been better Nathan Drake. I mean, granted, if they did it, I don't know, Shia LaBeouf. He got to be in his like mid-30s. But I don't know. Tom Holland's cool, but I feel like he seems too young. I don't know, but I guess that's what they're looking for. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it does well. But yeah, man. Just scrolling through here. As ever born. So where is he at? He in Europe? Somewhere. And let's see. Actually, bro, I can't wait for that shit right there. Cyberpunk, they need to hurry up with that fucking upgrade. I still ain't beat that shit. I stopped I played the beginning part, like that tutorial when you first get into the city, and I played like maybe like a mission, and then I stopped. I was like, I'm gonna wait for the upgrade because I needs it. I needs that upgrade. Let me see. I'm gonna try to scrounge around a little bit more, and then I'm gonna dip. But I don't know if I'm gonna. Yeah, let me go to messages. I don't know. This Serbian dude is funny. He been trying to go back. I forget what. He jumped all over the place so many times. It's about some multiplayer shit. Yeah, we were discussing like multiplayer. Oh, like paying for upgrades and blah blah blah. He's one on the camp of oh, how are you gonna complain about upgrades when y'all pay for skins or whatever? I'm like, that shit ain't even the same, but whatever. Let's see. Man, I don't really see much on here, man. Some of this shit is old. Because the thing is, I saw a ton of shit earlier, but I don't really respond to the same amount of shit that I used to. I used to respond to everything. But nowadays, I see shit. And sometimes I'll be like, I'll say something. Most of the time, I just be like, man, fuck this. I don't even feel like, you know, going back and forth with motherfuckers on that shit. That shit get, it should get mentally just exhausting, yo. Like you don't even feel like being bothered. You know, the mental gymnastics that these guys have to jump through in order to hate on the game and a console that they think is dog shit, that they don't believe has any value, but they constantly talk about. It's just like, bro, I can't even wrap my head around no shit like that, yo. Yeah, that shit is crazy. That shit crazy, bro. And they make it like it's a fucking job. They wake up and punch the clock and start hate. They be like, oh shit, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I gotta start hating on Xbox. Fuck. They don't get off of that bitch until about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They be like, oh shit, alright. I'm gonna punch out. I'm high. Hit y'all later. Be back here bright and early. Hate on that bitch some more. That should be living rent free in their fucking head for real, for real. But my ass is tired. I had a long day, and I'm gonna have a longer one tomorrow. So it's your boy Livewire. It was fun just talking with y'all. But have a good one. Have a happy holidays, and you know, get some good eats tomorrow, man. I think I'm making shrimp pasta for dinner, so you know that should be tasty. Shrimp pasta inside of pony legs. All right, man. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.